Hey, it's the next morning. I'm about to go on my tour to Pompeii. I think it's about 4 hours, but it takes an hour there, an hour back to drive. They're picking me up from the airport. They're picking me up from the hotel, and yeah, I don't have to worry about anything. It was 60 euros, and I think that's too much. And my showtime, not showtime, sorry. I'm on call again starting at 3:30 in the afternoon and I get back at about 2:30. So it leaves me just enough time to get back and everything in case they call me. I'm not exactly packed, but if worst comes to worst, they usually give me an hour anyway. So I should be ready to go and everything. I'm really excited about this. I'm so happy I get a 2-day layover in Italy. I mean, I've been trying to come here for like over a year and a half since I started, and I never have. So I'm so lucky and so excited. All right, see you guys later. We have 25 minutes, then we meet back up with the tour guide. So I'm just walking around. It's almost time. 5 more minutes.
A lot of what's been uncovered. 44 out of 66 acres have been unearthed, which means that we're still missing one third of it. There are 22 acres that haven't been dug out yet. If we know exactly where they start, they also know which kind of buildings still are there. The reason why that is the area that hasn't been uncovered yet, it's because it's the one that got deeply covered. So they're still having it under 7 meters. 7 meters, it's about 21 feet of ash.
Wow.
Well, all ash. Forget about lava. If Pompeii had been deeply covered in lava, we should have had a different tour because it would have now looked like that. Does everybody see that black stone that's here? Yeah. That is lava from previous eruptions. That lava flow is from 3,500 years ago. The Pompeii eruption had occurred nearly 2,000 years ago. That's how it happened to those people not to know that that was lava, because they weren't told about that, and they actually had no idea to be living right at the foot of a volcano. That won't make any difference, because now that everybody does, everybody now knows that Mount Vesuvius, it's a still active volcano. We're still having 800,000 crazy people who are taking the chance by living there. So I wouldn't blame those Romans who didn't know about that at all. If that is lava, it's because that volcano, it also makes lava flow. So how come that here on the 24th of October in 79 AD, they didn't have any lava flow? It is actually lava. What buried Pompeii still is lava, but it's tiny little lava stones full of gas and air. And since it's got lots of gas and air in it, it would be as light and porous as pumice stone. So that's what buried the entire town. They were having for most of it 3 to 4 up to 7 meters of ash. So I'm talking about 10 to 21 feet of ash and pumice stone that buried the entire town. The actual volcano, which is not this, it is not the one that buried Pompeii. Do you mind going with me all the
Questa splendida fanciulla che vedete, mia amica nonché mentore nonché maestra, è lei che mi ha insegnato a scrivere. Quello che sto dicendo mi ha insegnato lei. Per cui se alla fine il turno mi piace,
Don't.
That's the triclinum. Owner's office here to the left. On my left side is the that means that these are the exact same colors from nearly 2200 years ago. Allora, I mean to be respectful since I literally kicked out my other colleague from here. So I'm gonna start walking outside and I tell you more. The one thing that showed us how many bakeries they had, 23 of them are those 23 brick ovens that were found intact. They stood because of the shape. It's an arch with a keystone in the middle. So they still had big weight on top, but the weight of the ash on top of an arch with a keystone, it's gonna be then better distributed on each side. That's how they all stood. I know this is gonna sound crazy. They found bread in there. A little overcooked, but they did. And the reason why the bread did not decay It's because it got sealed in there. That means that when the ceiling collapsed, and they all did, all of the flat roofs, they all crashed. Those brick ovens, they got sealed. That means that the bread that was in there, it hadn't been exposed to the elements. That's how it lasted. So they found bread, and it was the bread itself that showed us who were the 23 bakers of Pompeii. Because they were branding the bread itself by having had like a family stamp on the dough. Having it with the regional marble. This is the regional marble, and it dates back to the Do you want me to lie to you or tell you about the truth?
The truth.
Then the truth is that this is not a real one. It is a plaster cast. We do have the real one. The original one still has bones inside. This one here doesn't. It doesn't have any bone. But we do have the original one that looks exactly like this. And it's got the original skeleton inside. Then, what happened to the body was that it got burned during the eruption by the heat wave. They had them slowly covered in ash, and the skin and everything else, it all slowly decomposed. So once it had all decayed, they still had the print with the shape of the body and the bones inside. When Giuseppe Fiorelli, the archaeologist who had been in charge for the digging, started digging out some of these since 1831, he came up with bones. And as soon as he had them touched, they literally evaporated. So that same archaeologist found out that the only way for the bones to be preserved, it was by making a mold around the skeleton. The point is, if you don't see the empty space with the bones inside, how would you even know that there's a cavity? By knocking on top. So what he did was randomly tapping on top of the ash. Would you mind?
break and was charging my phone because it was only at 50% and I was sweating, so I just took like a little break. But I ended up getting this bracelet. It is made from volcanic rock, which I thought was really pretty. And I was looking at it, and of course, you know, they were like, "Oh, do you want it? 35 euros." And I'm like, "No, thank you." So I walked around and I ended up getting 2 magnets, and he sold me this and the 2 magnets for 20 euros. So I said, okay, fine. I thought it was pretty cool. And then I got this bracelet at another stand. They wanted 20 euros. I said no. Then we did it for 10 euros. This bracelet reminds me a lot of bracelets that I used to have. I used to go to Corsica with my family when I was younger, when I was living in Europe. and Corsica is between Italy and France. It's an island, and these bracelets were really in at the time, and they were selling them everywhere there. And I saw this, and it just reminded me of that bracelet back then. I was just like, oh my gosh, I really want this. And it has all different colors, which is really cool. So I'm really happy with these two things. I don't wear jewelry a lot, but I still remember where I get everything from, and I just remember, okay, this is where I got that from. And I thought it was just really, it feels really cool. Like, it feels like a rock. It's kind of smooth too. Anyway, I'm gonna go back outside, and I guess I can show my face. I'm gonna go outside. It's pretty warm. Oh, the Pompeii tour was really, really cool. I'm glad I went. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to learn some history and everything. I did record the lady quite a lot, so hopefully I caught most of what I wanted to hear. But between the bathhouses and the sewage running in the street down to the ocean is really cool. And the mummified bodies, and from volcanic ash and rock to basically the city is just frozen in time of how it used to be. And you know, it's, of course, there were ruins that were kind of laying around, and people that stole, pillagers, is that what it's called? Whatever. So of course a lot of stuff is in museums because it's not there anymore. It was taken away. But yeah, it was really interesting. I'm not really a history buff, but I think that stuff is really interesting when you actually see it, you have to experience it. And they had brothels there where they used to force slaves to work when they were starting at 13. I thought it was really messed up. They still had menus up top of what you could get, which was really strange. And yeah, they still had houses of rich people pretty well, just like they used to be. And they had a mural on the wall, which is, what, 2,000 years old? And it's still there. It's really interesting. I've never been to Rome, but I actually kind of want to go now so I can see the ruins there as well. But I don't really get layovers there, but I want to go on my own. I have been to other parts of Italy before. I've been to Venice. And yeah, I want to go to more places, but anyway, that's all for right now. I'm going to go outside for a little bit longer. I definitely want to get another pizza. The pizza I had yesterday was so good. I'm in Muscat, Oman right now. I have a very, very short rest, pretty much like 11 hours, but I'm just gonna film outside really quick, just see what the outside looks like. It's the second country I am in the Middle East. I've been to, my gosh, I'm so tired, I can't think straight. I've been to Kuwait, and now I'm here. So it's very similar. It's about 97 degrees right now, and it's in the morning. I've been up all night. This room is very trendy, modern. I'm just really out of it. These buildings are pretty. It's very warm. Wow, it's very hot actually, and it's still really early in the morning, so I gotta go to sleep because I have a showtime at 7:30 this evening. So yeah, time for bed. Time for bed. Bye. All right. Hope I have another layover here, but I have not been here and I don't have time to explore, sadly. Next time. All right, bye. Good night.